a wonderful lunch that I had at Dantana's with Natalie Wood. Natalie turned to me and she said, "Evie, you are a survivor. You're gonna outlive us all." And dear Natalie, she turned out to be right.
Hey friends, Greg here. Ryan is out this week, and as I'm shooting this, he literally may be stuck in Santa Monica traffic, so I'm moving on without him. But don't worry, we're still breaking down another episode of American Horror Story Apocalypse. This is episode 2, The Morning After. Do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of these breakdowns. After you subscribe, click that link in the description to enter our Guardians of the Galaxy giveaway courtesy of our friends at fun.com. Hurry up because the contest runs until October 1st.
All questions will be answered in due course. Eat.
Okay, so the episode starts off with a bunch of snakes, which get killed and then prepared for the next dinner, of course. We go from stew to snake soup. Now, these aren't your regular snakes. The serpents are certainly the work of Michael Langdon. From a quick wiki search, the serpent or snake is one of the oldest and most widespread mythological symbols. Snakes have been associated with some of the oldest rituals known to humankind, and represent the dual expression of good and evil. In Christian tradition, serpents are connected with lies, vengefulness, and vindictiveness. Speaking of which, the rest of Outpost 3 finally meets Michael Langdon, where he tells them about the sanctuary.
The sanctuary.
The sanctuary?
The sanctuary is unique.
Okay, real quick, Cody Fern is doing an exceptional job. Langdon has this ominous presence that has everyone creeped out. His acting's on point. I even love the back and forth that Venable has with Langdon that ends with her being terrified of him, after he uses her possible scoliosis as a way to humiliate her. He wanted to see her shame.
No.
Also, make sure to keep an eye out for Chekhov's poison. That little vial is definitely coming back around this season. Next up, Mr. Gallant volunteers to go first for Langdon's cooperating test, and we learn Evie and her grandson really hate each other.
Yes, baby.
Now remember that popular fan theory that each season reflects one of the 9 circles of hell? Even Ryan Murphy jumped on the theory. And 2 episodes into this season, and well, it looks like we're diving into lust. Right when Gallant masturbates to Langdon, we get some very quick shots of the Antichrist himself sitting naked in a bloody pentagram surrounded by snakes. That can't be a good sign.
You pack that thing in your luggage?
Next up, the Rubberman's back from season 1 Murder House. Now, let's try to get this straight. Michael Langdon may have sent the Rubberman to Gallant's room. Now, in that suit may be Tate Langdon, his dad, who wore it while he raped his mother Vivian Harmon, and now is having sex with Mr. Gallant, played by Evan Peters, who also plays Tate Langdon. Now, this would directly lead to Nana Evie snitching on her grandson, hoping to take his place in the sanctuary.
I want to live, and the only way to achieve that is to get rid of these 10 little Indians who stand between me and that golden ticket out of here.
We're sitting right here.
Now that line is a direct reference to the famous Agatha Christie novel that had a very different title at its release, which would later be renamed to And Then There Were None. And the story was about 10 killings on a remote island. Back to our resident Adam and Eve, it looks like Langdon is literally tempting them with electronic forbidden fruit, as we see the Apple logo on the MacBook. Also, we need to point out the date is October 20th, 2021. How the hell is email even working down there?
If I could save time in a bottle.
Now, one of my favorite little Easter eggs in this episode has to be Time in a Bottle playing in Outpost 3. This is a cool little nod to Evan Peters' Quicksilver in X-Men Days of Future Past.
If I could save time in a bottle, the first thing that I'd like to do.
Yes, I jumped out of my seat the second Fleetwood Mac's Gold Dust Woman started playing.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Unfortunately, it looks like we're gonna have to wait another week for our favorite witches to make their long-awaited return, as this scene will directly lead to the Rubberman luring Gallant to his room in what turned out to be a botched Langdon execution. R.I.P. Evie. Now this scene could be our very first clue that Langdon has supernatural powers. With Fleetwood Mac playing in the background, it seems extremely likely that he set this trap for Gallant with a bit of witchcraft. R.I.P. Evie, the shade she gave in only 2 episodes was strong.
One lifetime of me is worth 50 of yours.
My shoes cost more than your house.
Okay, let's jump into favorite moments. My favorites in this episode are a tie between this line from Mallory to Evie.
We had at least 4 Chris's that could star in a movie. How many did you have?
Just throwing this out there, Evans is the best Chris, especially since Pine's probably not doing the role of Captain Kirk anymore. The war is over. My second favorite moment has to be the scene where Gallant is taking his kinky punishment in stride by screaming the names of gay icons after every lash.
Rip Taylor! Larry Kramer! Oh, Greg Louganis!
Okay, now back to the final scene. When Emily and Timothy find out that the no sex rule is kind of bullshit, they immediately have sex. I assumed that this would lead to their expulsion from the Outpost or something, yet apparently Venable and Meade just wanted to put a bullet in their head. Timothy fights back and shoots Meade right in the chest. And just when you thought he had everything figured out, Meade is an android of some sort with very ash from alien-like blood. I'm going to go with the idea that the Cooperative created androids to withstand the nuclear holocaust. Or did Madame Delphine Lalaurie somehow create robot clones of herself? Probably not, but on this show, anything is possible. Tell him, Bernard.
These violent delights have violent ends.
And lastly, a prediction. I have a feeling that Langdon is going from outpost to outpost and turning every remaining survivor against each other. There is no sanctuary, and he wants to end all humankind. He's likely studying up his own Hunger Games, Willy Wonka, Chocolate Factory scenario, picking off the blast survivors one by one. And Madison and crew might be the only hope to save what's left of the world. Okay, that's it for me over here, everybody. Let me know what your theory is on Miss Meade's robotic android thing going on. Ryan will be back here next week with me for episode 3, and as always, keep it tuned to GameSpot Universe. R.I.P. Evie, Vanjie, bye-bye.